Hello, this is Mr. Miller. The objective of this video is for you to be able to multiply two polynomials using the box method and the distributive method. Going to cover both of those techniques. The first one we're going to cover is the distributive property. The second one we're going to cover is the box method. So take some careful notes on these two methods. These will definitely help you during the week. And next week, hopefully we'll be getting into factoring. So when we're distributing, we want to multiply. Distributive property, distribution, those are synonymous with the word multiplication. So we want to take this 3 and distribute it or multiply it by both or everything on the inside of the parentheses. So we've got this 3, we want to multiply it by this 5x, and we also want to take that 3 and multiply it by 8. What you should come up with, 3 times 5 gives you 15, keep the x on there, 3 times 8 gives you 24. Combine like terms, 15x and 24, those are not like terms. So your answer, 15x plus 24. This next example, we've got two polynomials. We're multiplying two binomials by each other. So 2x plus 3 times 5x plus 8. Well, how do we do that? We can also do that using the distributive property. Basically, what we're going to do, we're going to split up this 2x and that plus 3. Split those up, so the 2x is going to come right down here, the 3 is going to come right down here, and we're going to multiply each of those by this entire parentheses. So the 2x is going to be multiplied by the 5x and the 8, and the 3 is also going to be multiplied by the 5x and the 8. So now from here, this looks like the last distribution property we did. 2x times 5x gives you 10x squared right here. 8 times that 2x gives you 16x. And then notice this looks like the last problem, and we come out with 15x plus 24. Last step, combine any like terms that we have. We'll notice these two middle terms have the variable x, the same exponent on there as well. We can combine those. 16 plus 15 gives you that 31x. I do want to do one more example with you on this multiplication. So we've got these two polynomials, 4x minus 1 and 2x plus 3. So we're going to take this first term, bring it down, and multiply it by everything in that second parentheses. 2x plus 3. Now we're going to take this second term, bring it down over here, minus 1 times the parentheses 2x plus 3. So you can practice that, splitting this up, multiplying it by the second parentheses, splitting up that second term, multiplying that by the second parentheses. So from there, we take the 4x, multiply it by both things on the inside. 4 times 2 gives you 8 x squared. 4x times 3 gives you plus 12x. The second one, you want to distribute including the sign. So negative 1, you're going to multiply by everything on the inside of the parentheses. Negative 1 times 2x gives you minus 2x. Negative 1 times 3 gives you minus 3. From here, you want to combine the like terms. These two terms that just have x's on them, you can combine those. So 8x squared, we'll keep that. 12x minus 2x gives us a plus 10x. And then subtract 3 on the end. And that's your final answer. So I do want you to try one more of these on your own. Distributive property. Let's see if you can knock this out. Alright, so we'll continue just with binomials here. So first binomial 2x plus 3, we're going to multiply that by 5x minus 2. See if you can come up with a solution to that one. Alright, I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. Split up that first term, 2x out in front. We'll keep our second parentheses tacked on there, 5x minus 2. And then we've got our second term plus 3 we'll bring out here. So plus 3, and we're going to multiply it by the 5x minus 2. So we split it apart, multiply both of those by the second set of parentheses. Now let's go ahead and distribute. 2x times 5x gives me 10x squared. 2x times negative 2 gives me minus 4x. Positive 3 times 5x gives me plus 15x. Plus 3 multiplied by negative 2 gives me minus 6. So again, combine any of those like terms. Let's keep that 10x squared out front. Negative 4x plus 15x will give us a plus 11x. And then tack on the negative 6 on the end. And you got your final answer right there. You'll have an opportunity to practice a little bit more later. Let's move on to our second method, the box method. Alright, so how does the box method work? Let's say we've got these two binomials here, 3x minus 5 and 5x plus 2 that we want to multiply. You're going to draw a box. That should look like this. So you're going to split up the 3x and the minus 5 will have their own columns. And the 5x plus 2 will have their own rows. So let's take a look at how this works when you multiply them. Basically finding the area of this box. So 3x times 5x is how you find the area of a rectangle. 15x squared. We want to find the area of this next square right down here, 3x times 2. Those are the dimensions of that square, so 3x times 2 gives you plus 6x. The next one, negative 5 times 5x will be negative 25x. And your last term is negative 10. You get from negative 5 times a positive 2. From there, last step, combine those like terms. Notice these both have x's as their variables. Keep it out front, 15x squared. Keep our subtraction of 10 on the back side. And then when we combine negative 25x plus 6x, you have your middle term right there. That's our second method of working this out. Whichever one works best for you, you can do. Right here, I want to try this box method again. So if you notice, we're taking this first term, 7p, we're bringing it down right over here. We're taking this second term, negative 2, right over here. So if we were to combine these, it would be 7p minus 2. We're just splitting up each term to have its own column. This second parentheses, we're going to split this to each have their own row. So 3p, and then that minus 4 will go on the bottom. So when we combine these, 3p minus 4, you still get the same thing. Again, we're just splitting up each term to have its own little box. So from there you can start filling in the areas. 7p times 3p gives you 21p squared. Next box, 7 p times negative 4, you get negative 28p. Next box, you get negative 6p. And the last one, you get positive 8. So go ahead, double check, make sure you know where those are coming from. Those are the areas of each of those rectangles. Again, the last step, combine any like terms so we can simplify it. And you get your final answer, 21p squared. When you combine these, you get negative 34p plus 8. Alright, I do want to do one on the board really quick. Let's just say we're doing x plus 3 times the quantity 2x minus 5. Alright, so I want to split this. That's going to be one row or one column. This is going to be another column. X and then a plus 3. So those are two columns. I want to split these two terms into separate rows. So my first one is going to be 2x here. My second one is going to be negative 5. Alright, so I got this box set up. I do want you to practice doing this on your own. We can find the areas. This box will be 2x squared when we multiply those two. We multiply these two, it's going to be negative 5x. Multiply these up here, we'll get 6x. And this bottom right hand corner, we'll get negative 15. So 2x squared is by itself, and our final answer. We'll combine like terms for our middle term. They both have x's on them. So 6 plus a negative 5, we're just left with plus x. And then our last term, minus 15. That is your final answer. Alright, so choose your method and come up with your solution. Whichever method you chose, you should have come up with y squared plus y minus 12. If you have questions, ask one of your group mates. Ask Mr. Miller. Try and solve this one on your own as well using either the distributed method or the box method. You should have come up with 4 is the correct answer. Double check any of your math if you didn't get it. Ask Mr. Miller for help. Ask one of your classmates, one of your group members that did get the correct answer. You could use either the box method or distributed method. Want you to try this one on your own. See what answer you come up with. No multiple choice, so let's see what you get. Alright, so I'm just going to show you the distributed method really quick. It's a little more challenging, this one, but you can still use the distributed method. This 2x is going to multiply by everything in this second set, and this negative 5 is also going to multiply by everything in that second parentheses. So take some time, maybe pause this, see if you can come up where these numbers come from. The 2x is just multiply by each of these individual ones in the middle. And then that negative 5, keep the sign with it when you distribute. That's going to be extremely important. Probably one of the biggest mistakes. Try and avoid it. And you'll multiply those out. Combine any of those like terms. So what I would do, I would circle like the x squareds. Those are like terms. I might just underline the ones that just have x's in there, just so I know which terms I want to combine. X cubed is by itself, and the constant at the end is also by itself. So once we combine those, you get your final answer, 2x cubed minus 15x squared plus 33x minus 20. Want you to try this last one on your own. See if you can tackle this beast. Alright, this one I want to show you the box method, how that works. So the 2x and the minus 5 I put down here for the rows. So the first term 2x, the second term minus 5. And then this second parentheses, I split this into the columns. So x squared gets its first spot here. The next term, negative 5x, gets its spot right here. And then plus 4 will get the third spot. So again, we're just going to go find the area of each of these boxes by multiplying it by each dimension. The height times the width. The first box, you get 2x cubed. That second box, negative 10x squared. If you want to do these on your own and you're still working through this, pause in between each one. The next box, 8x. Going down to the second row, negative 5x squared plus 25x. We got a negative times a negative there, so positive 25x. And then negative 20. So the last step, combine those like terms. Those x squareds are going to combine, and those x's are also going to combine. And you get your final answer. Sweet beans.